Guys, the last video, one of our members said that he's having trouble getting fats. So what I thought I would do today is talk about the different ways to get fats. I think one of the best ways to get fats has to do with eating avocados because they are very high in fat, and they're very good for us, and they also provide us fiber. But some people choose, don't like avocados. But if you do, there's so many different ways to eat them. And I think somewhere in our site, if you go under recipes, you're going to find the chocolate avocado pudding that I make. And it's really, really good, and it's easy to get it in, and you don't even know you're eating it. There's that one. There's all kinds of fats that we can eat, and also in the grocery list it shows the chart that says keto is for you. And it's the purple and black, and there are lots of delicious fats that you can choose from. There's lard and ghee, butter, coconut cream, coconut oil, avocado oil, beef tallow, duck tallow, olives, olive oil, MCT oil, heavy whipping cream. There's just all kinds of different things that you can do with those things. One of the things that I like to do for a treat in the evenings, and you can top off, at the end of the day, I do it in my last meal because no snacking, because that's the big thing here is that do not snack whenever possible, because every time you snack you trigger your insulin to go, and whenever you trigger your insulin it causes you to store fat for anything that your insulin can't use up. So always be cautious of that. But the one thing that I like to do is that after my last meal of the day, sometimes what I like is I crave something sweet. Well, I've made a choice to get rid of all sweeteners in my diet. And so I heard a nice little trick, and that is to take blueberries, I freeze them, add a tiny bit of salt to them before I pour heavy whipping cream over, and that causes the sweetness to come out in the blueberries. So that's a nice little treat, but then you're also upping your fats by adding the heavy whipping cream. When I make a salad, I choose to use, most of the time, I'll choose to use just a very high quality olive oil, and I slather that all over my salad, and then I'll sprinkle some Italian seasoning, some garlic salt, that sort of thing, and that gets a lot of fat that's into your diet. When you cook, always cook with a high quality oil. I'm really interested in trying the beef tallow or duck tallow. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm very interested in doing it. I do cook in bacon fat sometimes. Sometimes that's where I'll cook my eggs. But then what I can do is when the egg is cooked, I will put a pat of butter on top of it as well to get that added extra fat that's in there. Some people can take olive oil and just put a tablespoon of it in their mouth and swallow. I'll tell you that if it's a good quality olive oil, I can do that. If it's not, it's not very good to do. Some people will take a tablespoon of coconut oil just to top everything off. Always keep these things though in your window. I choose to use ghee. Sometimes I'll have a fat coffee with my noon meal. And fat coffee has to do with, I put a tablespoon of MCT oil and a tablespoon of ghee. Some people use butter, and I always add a little bit of salt to take the bitterness away. There's that. You can eat olives. Olives are higher in fat. Those are good things to try. If you're looking for added fats, sardines are very good to have the added fats that come from a sardine. You can choose to have it in olive oil, but always remember to check your labels because you want to make sure you're getting a good quality. Mackerels are higher in fat as well when you're choosing fish, and then salmon is high. Make sure though when you're doing salmon to do, you want the omega 3s, I think. I'm not positive, but you want the omegas that come in the salmon, and then it's high in fat as well. Another good one to have is when you're picking a steak, choose a ribeye. Ribeyes are higher in fat, and that's a lot of natural fats. When you're choosing chicken, the chicken thighs have the higher fat content. Don't cut that fat away from the thigh. You want that fat. And if you guys remember how grandma used to make chicken, you let it fry in the fat that it has on the meat. So go with that. So those are some really good ideas. Eggs are higher in fat as well. Pork is a leaner meat. Chicken breast, there's not much fat there, and I thought that that was the best thing ever, but I'm now eating, most of the time when I have chicken, it is a chicken leg or a chicken thigh. Although I do chicken wings because I like making my own hot wings. Also remember that bacon is high in fat. If you react to the sugar that's in processing the bacon, but I do not, so I like eating just bacon, there is pork belly. And so I haven't tried it yet, but I've heard some wonderful things about pork belly. Well, I hope that this has been helpful for the person who is trying to get their fat in. Just push to get it in. Try whatever you can to get that extra fat in. But it is very important to meet those fat macros to get yourself fat adapted. So do what you can. If you have extra questions, please message me or put it in the comments. I'm glad to answer any questions that I can. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye now.